So the leaks and rumors were true about Samsung's Galaxy S10. We have three models sharing a lot of features in common, including the Infinity O display, a headphone jack, yep, it's still here guys, and a variety of color options to choose from. What's up everyone, Eber here with Hardware Canucks, and this is my first impressions after spending about 30 minutes with the Galaxy S10. Let's get started. Alright, so first and foremost, there are three models of the S10 for 2019. The S10e, which is the cheapest among the three, then there's the standard S10 and the S10 Plus, and here are the color options. So there's Prism White, Prism Blue, Prism Green, Prism Black, Flamingo Pink, that's right my friends, and the highest spec S10 Plus can also be picked up in a ceramic white finish, which honestly felt amazing in the hands. It's a welcoming upgrade over glass back finishes for sure, but it does come at a cost. Now do keep in mind that all these color options are going to be scattered across different regions, so if you live in Canada, you may be unlucky because unfortunately we won't be getting the green, the pink, and I think a few other color options too, so again, it's very dependent on where you live. Now, one of the key features of the S10 lineup is the introduction of the Infinity O display, or in other words, an all-new dynamic AMOLED screen. So essentially, they've extended the screen size all the way to the top and the bottom, giving it well over 90% of the screen-to-body ratio, as well as implementing this in-display camera sensor. I like to call it the punch hole display, and honestly, guys, I have mixed feelings about it. I certainly have to spend a little bit more time to get used to it. But yeah, that's what it is. That's what we're dealing with the S10. It sure gives the phone a cool concept vibe, and you know, there's no denying the fact that Samsung loves to push their boundaries when it comes to smartphone design and engineering, and I highly appreciate that. So the S10e and the S10 comes with a single front-facing 10 megapixel sensor that can now shoot 4K video, which is pretty neat, while the S10 Plus comes with dual cameras, so one of them being an RGB depth sensor that allows the user to play around with different portrait mode effects and other things, while the other sensor is the same 10 megapixel shooter, just like its younger siblings. The display by itself looks absolutely stunning. This is probably the best it can get. Samsung does still take the crown here once again when it comes to display technology. It now comes with the HDR10 Plus certification, although I'm not exactly sure how users are going to take advantage of that because content being shot in HDR is still very limited. It's not mainstream yet, so I'm kind of curious to see how that will play out in the future. And you know, in terms of color accuracy, it's pretty awesome. If you're looking for, you know, that cool, vibrant and contrasty look, S10 certainly delivers, and you know, it's pretty similar to what you would experience with other previous Samsung devices. I should also mention that they've also increased the screen brightness, so visibility outdoors is certainly going to be a lot better. Speaking of the display, I think it's probably a good time to talk about the security built inside the S10 and the S10 Plus. So basically what Samsung has done is they've implemented a 3D ultrasonic sensor underneath the glass. So every time when you put your finger on it, it'll scan a 3D contour of your finger or your thumb, depending on which finger you decide to use. And it'll store that into the Knox chip built inside the device for the best possible security. So it's a cool feature, and from my quick demo or just testing or playing around with it, it seemed to be working just fast, although I still have to get the unit in my hand to test it out and give you guys my verdict on that technology. But it's certainly going to be a lot better than what you would normally find with the OnePlus 6T's in-display fingerprint sensor, because it's still, you know, not the best in the business. So that's definitely something I guess I'm looking forward to testing out. Now, the S10e, you're not going to be getting the ultrasonic sensor because Samsung decided to implement a physical reader on the side of the device, which is okay because it's ergonomically just the perfect spot to kind of hold your phone and unlock the device. And I guess I don't really have anything to complain about that. Next up are the cameras, and Samsung decided to go all out this time by implementing 3 sensors on the S10 and the S10 Plus. Unfortunately, the S10e only comes with 2 cameras, but I think that's still something. So the triple camera setup consists of an ultra wide-angle 16 megapixel sensor with a field of view of roughly 123 degrees. You also get a standard wide-angle lens, which is a 12 megapixel shooter, and a telephoto lens for that extra reach. Now, an awesome thing baked inside the camera application is the ability to seamlessly switch between those 3 lenses by simply zooming in and out within the camera app. And I think this will come in super beneficial for the average consumer. Now, another thing that Samsung baked inside this camera application is an intelligent camera assistant that essentially gives you shot suggestions when it comes to framing a particular subject. And I'm really looking forward to testing that out when I get my hands on this device. Another key feature of the S10 is wireless PowerShare. So this essentially allows you to charge your Qi-enabled devices wirelessly on the S10, and that can be turned on through the Quick Settings app, so it doesn't have to be turned on, pretty much all the time. And I do have to mention that it doesn't support fast wireless charging, but rather, its rated wattage is around 4.5 watts. So, if you're charging your smartwatch or just regular things that don't necessarily need or require fast charge, I think this is a pretty cool feature. The last thing to discuss here is performance and the rest of the specs. So you're getting the latest Snapdragon 855 CPU across all three devices, IP68 water resistant rating, expandable storage, Fast Charge 2.0. There's also support for next-gen Wi-Fi 6 or 802.11ax support, which is pretty cool. And you can pick up the S10e, the S10, and the S10 Plus in different memory and storage configurations. I think the absolute spec'd out version that you can get on the S10 is the S10 Plus with 12 gigabytes of RAM and a terabyte of storage. So there's that, and I'm pretty sure that's going to cost you an arm and a leg, so do keep that in mind. Now, speaking of pricing, I think that's probably the most anticipated part that you guys were looking forward to. So here it goes. The S10e is going to start at $749. The S10 is going to start at $899, and the S10 Plus is going to be $1,000. You can actually pre-order the phone today, and it goes on sale on March the 8th. And there are different trade-in programs that Samsung does offer. So, that's one way to get your hands on the new S10. So that's it, guys. That's my first impressions with the Galaxy S10. 3 new phones from Samsung for the rest of 2019. I'm sure there's the Note 10 that's coming later down the road. I'm really looking forward to testing out this device because, for one, it's priced differently across different models. They all share something in common. The S10e doesn't get a lot of the features that the S10 and the S10 Plus have. So it's going to be interesting to see how these phones play out for the rest of the year. But stay tuned for my long-term review of these devices. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about the S10. Is it a phone that you would consider upgrading to in 2019 if you're coming from, an S8 or even an S9? Love to know your thoughts in the comments. Also, I do want to mention that now might be a good time to pick up the S9 because it's on sale for around $500. And actually leave links to those phones in the description down below if you want to pick it up for a really good deal. So there's that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure to check out some relevant content over here. Subscribe to our Boot Sequence channel. I'm Ibor with Canucks signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next one.